Alrighty, what's up, guys? So we're back at it with another live. Uh, in this live, we will be previewing a video that will be dropping probably sometime later this month. Uh, it'll be mixing a raised bed. Um, so we added in the 50 pounds of flaxseed meal, the 15 pounds of gypsum, and we put in about like 25, 30 pounds of alfalfa meal. The rest of it we used in the rest of the garden area for like the tomatoes, pumpkins, watermelon, zucchini, cucumbers, cantaloupes, wildflowers, sunflowers, different things like that that will be growing this year. Herbs, carrots, things like that. Um, so we're gonna mix that up. We might make that a video. We might not. Um, we'll probably end up just waiting for um, planting season when we start building up our mounds and doing and amending the mounds. That's probably when we will make a video on the rest of the garden area, not the raised bed. Because we'll also have to do like a mulching video. We'll do a mulching video where we remulch the backyard because it needs it bad. So we're gonna probably do maybe 3 layers, 3 different types of layer of mulch. We're gonna have to see. I'm gonna try to get the free mulch that you can get at the parks because why not? That'll add a layer and that'll break down first before the decorative mulch will. And then I might buy some like wood shavings to mix along with that just to give it some more complexity. And then throw the decorative mulch on top of that. We don't even need to go buy the wood shavings, to be honest with you. We could probably find free wood chips somewhere around here. There's a lot of farms and stuff like that that'll do that, have like free wood chips that they don't need. So if you want to pick them up, you can. I'll look up, maybe hit up Craigslist and see if I can find any like free mulch or free firewood because I need to get firewood as well too. So maybe we'll do like a firewood video or something like that. Got a terrible fucking ingrown fucking fingernail, dude, and it's fucking hurting so bad. I gotta cut it, but I'm just fucking lazy and I haven't done it. It's bad. Ooh. So, pretty simple episode. Unfortunately, my parents are in the rest of the house, so I can't play music. Because that's normally what I like to do on the street. Just chill, smoke weed, and play some music. Well, I guess what we used to be able to, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, yeah, like none of the music works anymore for some reason. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Alrighty, well. Fuck it. Smoke some weed, chill out. I gotta eat. Probably do that. Trying to think of other stuff that we can do on this stream. Oh, well, we'll definitely go into the tent for a bit. I gotta plant some stuff up front, and I gotta mix the soil and throw the sprinklers on in the back. So we'll do that, I guess, too. Probably won't be too crazy. I'm trying to eat some food because I'm kind of hungry. And why not? Like, why not? I'll be right back. boy. Alrighty, we're back. We got Buddy, the German Shepherd, Taco Bell. Nothing too crazy. Just a beefy 5-layer. Got a Mexican pizza heating up. So, how's everybody's life? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're ready for the summer. We got a ton of stuff. Pumpkins, zucchinis, watermelons, cucumber. Probably gonna start cantaloupe here soon. Got a whole bunch of tomatoes coming up. Got to get some more. Personally, my favorite tomato is the Early Girl Bush. I like the way it looks and tastes. That's like smacks sometimes. Especially the first year I had it. Yeah, sugar was really good. The first year I got it, sugar was really good. It hasn't really looked the same since then, unfortunately. I don't know why, per se. I don't know if they lost that seedling variety and had to refine it, because the second year I did tomatoes, they had the Early Girl 50-day variety, which wasn't quite what it was called before. And I don't remember the first version was called Early Girl. I think it was called Early Girl Bush maybe the first time, but I can't remember. That was my first year of growing. My second year of growing, it was Early Girl, the 50-day variety. And then the third year I was growing, they had both. They had the Early Girl 50-day variety, which is an indeterminate. And then they have the determinate variety, which is the Early Girl Bush. The Bush is actually better. They get bigger, they're juicier, and you'll actually get a decent amount of tomatoes still. So determinate meaning they'll only get a certain amount, and they'll only get a certain height, and then they'll stop growing. So yeah, that Early Girl Bush, you'll get almost 100 tomatoes from each one. So you put 2 or 3 of those out, that's 300 tomatoes right there easily. If you fertilize and water correctly. in my soil is already pretty well amended. Has a lot of it's well draining. Has some good soil in it. So I'm not too worried about it. Little fucker. I gotta get a skewer so I can fix this. Clean this goddamn bowl. Should be good. It's just disgusting. That's why I use bongs. If you don't, all that shit's gonna end up straight into your lungs. That's actually why my lungs are still pretty good. Tobacco definitely will speed that up. That's another reason why I don't drink tobacco. One, it's gross. Two, it will kill you. So, PC5 layer. Stop barking. So last video we got like 20 people to come out. This is a little bit later, so we probably won't get as many into the live stream. I think we were the last live stream around like 3. I gotta upload some videos of the plants on my Instagram. Unfortunately, my old one got deleted. My old Instagram got deleted, and I lost a lot of the videos and pictures and stuff of my old plants. So I started a new one, and so that's why we have last year's grow on it, because we started it for last year's grow. That's about it. And then I got the current grow that I'm doing, which is a mixture of an indoor and the stuff that's going to be going outdoor. I put the things out in a windstorm the other day. It was cold, it was super windy. I figured that'd be a perfect time to put them outside, get them some cold stress, get them hardened off a little bit to the cold, get a little wind torture, right? Which is just like the plants just getting beat up from the wind. And that'll increase your terpene profile. It'll make it stronger. You'll get better THC profile. You'll get a better THC production because of it, because your plants will have gone through so much stress. Once it starts to kind of even keel out and you get to like kind of more of like a normal temperature, things start to cool down, we get into flower. Things aren't as windy, but they'll probably get a little bit more windy towards October. But at like August to September time, so normally it gets like either warm or just starting to cool down. So there's not really any like fluctuation of like crazy weather patterns. So you can actually get a good few months, 2 months really, where your plants aren't getting beat up, and your plants will get super sticky and just smell crazy. I can't wait for this year. I think this year's going to be easily my best yet. Hopefully, only thing could have made it better is definitely having Purple Punch around in my pug. But we're chilling. So basically, I feel like earlier this week or like late last week, basically this time around last week or early this week, we shot part 2 of amending a raised bed. We threw in 67 pounds of fertilizer, 15 pounds of shrimp shell meal, which is high in nitrogen at 6%, high in phosphorus at 6%, has no potassium, unfortunately, but has 11% calcium. It's also high in chitin, which will get rid of bad nematodes and help produce more oils in your plants. They will taste better, smell better, and produce better if you give it that. So we gave it that. To get some potassium in our soil, we gave it some soybean meal. Soybean meal is also high in nitrogen at 7%. It's high, has 1% phosphorus, and it has 2% potassium. So that's where we got our potassium from in that mix. We get 15 pounds of gypsum. That's around 21 pound. I don't know how much calcium is in gypsum. I think it's normally 21 or 20% sulfur, something like that, and then like 18, 32%, anywhere from 18 to 32% calcium. So gypsum's pretty cool. So we also gave it 22 pounds of glacial rock dust. That right there, honestly, I think was a little overkill because I think we actually are good on minerals in that bed. We've already gave it like about 19 pounds of azomite. We got 4 pounds of azomite from organically done, and then we had 15 pounds of azomite from Down to Earth already in that bed. And then we basically just added another 22 pounds of glacial rock dust, which is basically essentially the same thing, a little different. Definitely different, but it will give us a lot of minerals too. I think that was a little overkill. I think we could have used maybe 8 pounds of that throughout the rest of the garden just to give it some minerals and trace elements and things like that. Unfortunately, we didn't. We threw it all into the raised bed. It's not that big of a deal. In our next go around, to be honest with you, unfortunately, the prices did go up on glacial rock dust. It was very cheap. It was not on sale. They just had it listed for $20. I think once I bought it, they noticed that and they were like, I don't know, $20 is kind of cheap for glacial rock dust. It doesn't do that much in the soil. I'm personally probably not going to buy it for $25 a bag, just because I know I used to be able to get it for $20 a bag. I'm like, I don't know if I feel like doing that. But, if I need it again, I don't need it right now. But if I ever need it again, it's still probably the cheapest place to go to. But, whatever. I would have just made it $20 flat. Instead of being $19.99, I would have just made it $20. And then you still would have sold, you got your penny in, right? So, I mean, it's not that much, but you get a penny in. Now it's a $20 flat. It's $20 flat. It's free shipping. I feel like
If you advertise that a little bit more on that website, which is growgreenmaine.com, definitely check them out. They got a lot of good deals, and organically done is very cheap. Prices are going up, unfortunately, and I am going to be probably again soon. Um, um, I need to buy. We mixed all that into the bed. All that together was about 67 pounds of fertilizer, 22 pounds of glacial rock dust, 15 pounds of gypsum, 15 pounds of soybean, and 15 pounds of shrimp shell meal. That's a decent little fertilizer regimen. A really good all-purpose veg fertilizer for sure. The only thing it was lacking is maybe a pHer. If you were able to like get another bag or two, or just honestly just a bag of dolomite lime and a bag of acid mix from Down to Earth, throw that in. I would honestly, and I haven't done that every time. I did do that the time before that, but the next two times I didn't pH the soil. You honestly should do that. Every single time you fertilize, you should add a pHer into it. Not only is it going to add to the quality of your soil, it's just going to make sure nothing gets out of whack and that when you go to plant, everything's perfectly even keeled. Right? Like some people like to try to lean a little acidic or try to lean a little, alkaline or something, depending on which plant you're planting. And, there's some plants that you have to do that obviously with. And there's other plants that you can kind of get away with it not having to do a pHer per se. Hey, you should always pH your soil, especially if it's the first year growing in it, no matter if you test it or not. If you test it and it doesn't need to be pH, it doesn't hurt to pH it because one acid mix from Down to Earth is a soil conditioner. Dolomite lime is a soil conditioner. The calcium in the dolomite lime is going to help loosen up rocky clay soil, along with the cottonseed meal, which is a soil acidifier, will make the soil more acidic. It'll also loosen up clay soil and make it a little more fine. So adding both of those into your soil, honestly, is all you would need to go plant like tomatoes or peppers or anything else. Really, you wouldn't really need to add anything else. If you just bought those two bags, that's a great all-purpose fertilizer right there. The acid mix from Down to Earth gives you 4% nitrogen, 3% phosphorus, and 6% potassium. So the 6% potassium and 3% phosphorus are going to give you a ton of blooms, right? You're going to get a ton of blooms. It also has some magnesium in it, but you don't really need to worry about the magnesium in the acid mix because the sulfur is what you're really looking for in the acid mix. The magnesium is just an add-on, and it's just nice. And the only reason why it's there is because they use lignite to get their sulfur, and so it's kind of like a byproduct of that. So you also get 2.5% humic acid. You get, I think, like 3% calcium or something like that. So you get some calcium from the acid mix. So that's not bad. The 4% nitrogen, though, is pretty good, right? That's not most all purpose fertilizers that you go get from like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supplies, anywhere like that. You're going to need to you're going to always find that the nitrogen rate is somewhere always around 4%. It doesn't normally change from that. Sometimes you might find something around like 5 or 6% nitrogen. Normally you don't. So what ends up happening is um, woo, that's spicy. So, yeah. Yeah, 4% is a pretty good nitrogen rate. I don't think you'll need too much nitrogen. The dolomite lime, on the other hand, is going to add, I think, like 21% calcium, somewhere around like 10-15% magnesium. That magnesium is going to help with chlorophyll production. That'll help your plants grow faster. It'll also help with bloom production. So once your plants start producing peppers and tomatoes and things like that, eggplants, they're going to love that. So adding some dolomite lime and acid mix, both from Down to Earth, or you can get dolomite lime from Organically Done, and that'd probably be cheaper. You can do that too. They just don't have a soil acidifier on there, unfortunately. But if you were to get that, you'd be pretty set. 1 second, I gotta get my other thing. Starting to check on my Mexican pizza. Not quite ready. So, yeah, but yeah, that's a pretty good mill mix. So the 21% calcium, you're not going to get any blossom end rot, so you're going to get a ton of blooms. And then that 10-15% magnesium, yeah, you're going to get crazy blooms from that little mix right there. Anything else you can add? Let's say after you get that too, you still have like some money left over. You're like, well, let's say you went to growgreenmaine.com and you're like, well, I got 2 bags of dolomite lime from Organically Done because that's who they have in stock. And then I got 2 bags of acid mix. What else should I get? I get like a bag of humic acid from Down to Earth. That's pretty cheap as well too. And you're trying to get the free shipping, so that's at $75, right? Well, so you go get a bag of humic acid now. So 2 bags of acid mix, that's like $20. 2 bags of dolomite lime, that's somewhere around like $10-15 somewhere. I don't know. I have to go look at dolomite lime. I think dolomite lime's like $5-6. I think it's $6.50. So that's like $13. So that's like 13. So you're at like $33 right now. You get a bag of humic acid. Just get 1 bag of that. You don't need a ton of that. But you could get a lot of it if you need to. If you want to get it as like a filler, you could technically get 2 bags of that. That'll just be $20, and that'll make it about $53. Then at that point, you get another 2 bags. So if you got 2 bags of shrimp shell meal, that'd be another $13 on there from Organically Done. This is off of growgreenmaine.com. You get 2 bags of that. That'll give you a ton of nitrogen, phosphorus, and more calcium to your soil. It'll also give you chitin, so it'll up your oil production, so your plants will taste better, smell better, and just all around probably be more productive because they'll be a lot healthier from that. So you could add 2 bags of that to your mix, and that will only be $66. So you would need another $10 to get to the free shipping. So you still have another $10 to go. So then you could go get like a bag of soybean meal, 2 bags of soybean meal. You could get a bag of soybean meal and get like a bag of dried molasses would work. You could get a bag of you could get another bag of dolomite lime if you felt like it. You could get another bag of what else? There's a lot of stuff. You can get a bag of alfalfa meal on there for pretty cheap. But all in all, you would get like I don't know, a set of 2 bags. You get like 2 bags of shrimp shell meal, 2 bags of acid mix, 2 bags of humic acid, 2 bags of dolomite lime, and then 2 bags of, I think, the shrimp shell meal. And you'd be straight. You'd be pretty straight to go. That'd be a great all-purpose fertilizer for the year. You probably could put like a couple cups down before planting, get the soil nice and ready, and then when you go to plant, drop a cup down there into the hole, mix that in, plant, and that'll last you for a good month probably. And then you'll probably do a top dressing in the whole area. But that's like a good 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I think it's like about like 55 pounds. 55 pounds, 50 pounds. I want buddy too. I want buddies too. But yeah, that's a good little all-purpose fertilizer right there. Um, you know, acid mix, dolomite lime, that'll pH your soil. Adding the humic acid, that'll help with uptake, right? So your plants will have no problem. That'll also break down any hard clay soil. It'll make it nice and humic, a lot richer. It'll attract worms into the soil. So humic acid is always nice to add, and it's normally fairly cheap to get humic acid. So I always recommend, you can't hurt. You can't, it is a carbon source, so it will rob you a little bit of nitrogen. So you have to be wary of that. If you don't need to add humic acid, don't add it, per se, because, or let's say hypothetically, there's no need for humic acid, but you really need nitrogen. Don't add any humic acid. That'll rob you of your nitrogen that you're trying to add, and then you won't get all that nitrogen you're trying to add. So, there's that. So we can even get into that. So let's say hypothetically, you're trying to soil test. You go out, you get a soil test. You're like, all right, I need a lot of phosphorus and I need a lot of calcium. What would I use for that? I would go with bone meal. You can go high nitrogen bone meal. You can go low nitrogen bone meal. Both are from Organically Done. You can get them on Grow Green Maine or organically.com, organicallydone.com. The high nitrogen bone meal is more of an all-purpose fertilizer. It's going to be like from Organically Done. It's like 8% nitrogen, 13% phosphorus. I think it has like 2% potassium, which is like, I don't know where they got the potassium from, but that's awesome. And then you get like 13% calcium in your soil now. That's a great all-purpose. At that point, the only thing else I would add is your pHers, your dolomite lime acid mix to your soil. And you could roll with that. You could roll with 1 bag of bone meal, 1 bag of humic acid, 1 bag of acid mix, 1 bag of dolomite lime, high nitrogen bone meal, high nitrogen bone meal, dolomite lime, acid mix, and you're straight. There's not much else you could add to your soil after that. You're gonna get your sulfur. You're gonna get all your At that point, now you just maybe want to add some azomite or glacial rock dust to get some more of your trace minerals into the soil, and build that up, build your quality up in your soil. And that's normally pretty cheap. On growgreenmaine.com, you can get a bag of azomite for like $10, a 5-pound bag of azomite for like $10. So that's cheaper than trying to get it on Amazon. So that's pretty good. I don't need to add any azomite to my soil, because I ended up actually just going with the glacial rock dust for $20, which was more. It did cost more, but I got 22 pounds of glacial rock dust where I would have only got 5 pounds of azomite for $10. For $10 more, I got 12 more pounds of fertilizer than I would if I would have got the azomite. So that's definitely a lot smarter. So I don't think I'll need to add any more trace minerals after that. So I won't be worried about that. We added in 50 pounds of flaxseed meal to the raised bed, 25 pounds of alfalfa meal, and 15 pounds of gypsum again. I think the only thing I'm going to add next time is I might try to do the high nitrogen bone meal, get like 2 bags of that per plant. And then I'll probably do like 2 bags of gypsum. Wait, yeah, maybe, what would that be? That's like 40, 60, probably. I might do 1 bag of the high, 1 bag of high nitrogen bone meal actually will make more sense. So we'll do 1 bag of high nitrogen bone meal, 1 bag of 2 bags of gypsum. So that's like more like $50. So that makes a little more sense. Then we can do 1 bag of acid mix, and then maybe that'll be 60. A bag of dolomite lime will be $60, $66.50. So now we need to add, like, we got to get like $10 more in there. We could probably just go get like a big bag of, we could get like a bag of Karanja cake at that point. And that'll probably be it. What did I add? Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to scrap the high nitrogen bone meal and the extra bag of gypsum and do 2 bags of Karanja cake. That's $20. A bag of gypsum, That's 40. A bag of acid mix, that's 50. Or just do like 2 bags of acid mix, that's 60. And then 2 bags of Dolomite lime is like 73. Then you could add like another cheap bag of like, I don't know, shrimp shell meal if you felt like it, soybean meal. That'll give you all your base NPKs, your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. That'd be pretty good. But not needed. You could also at that point maybe try to go find like, or you just get like a cheap bag of dried molasses. That'll keep the worms nice and happy. That'll also help with like sugar uptake in your plants. They'll like that. They'll produce faster, probably produce more chlorophyll because of that. That'll also just make your soil a little more complex and make it a little bit nicer. Sorry, I had to stretch my back right there. That felt good though. Felt really good. So yeah, but I haven't really quite figured out our mix yet for that. Actually, we could look, and I probably will look at my cart, and I'll tell you what we'll be doing. So actually, I don't know. So I don't know what I did here. So this would be like $118. I don't know if I agree with this one too much. I don't know what I was thinking here. I got 3 bags of the shrimp shell meal from Organically Done, and then some Gaia Green, the Power Bloom. I'm like, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. We might use Gaia Green, the Power Bloom. Might buy some of that because it would make sense to do that in flour. It might be a cheaper option than trying, because that's about the same price if we got like 4 bags of yeah, it'd be cheaper to just get this and then get like maybe 2 bags of acid mix that in with it. That'd be pretty good, a pretty good little flour mix. The Power Bloom from Gaia Green and then some Down to Earth acid mix. You wouldn't really need anything else in a pot, but I don't think I'm going to use that for veg, so we'll get rid of that. And let's go to the actual cart, update the cart. Alrighty, so right now what I have is 4 bags of shrimp shell meal. We're gonna get another 50-pound bag of the flaxseed meal. That's a 511. Yikes. Wow, sirens, a lot of shit. So we're gonna get 20 pounds of shrimp shell meal. That'll be $26. That's a great deal. And then for $39, we're gonna get 50 pounds of flaxseed meal. So that'll give us all the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium we'll need. That'll just give us our calcium. At that point, I could add a bag of acid mix to pH our soils, and give us a little more potassium in it. And then we'll use some of the flaxseed meal in the vegetable garden, I think, maybe, per se. We'll see. Let me see. Let me go get delete all these. Down to Earth. Go find some acid mix. I wish it had more acid, more. I'm thinking like I'll probably spend $100 on the pots and fertilizer, and I need to get some soil. That'll probably be another $100. So that'll be a lot. But I'll probably be able to do that this month, hopefully, sometime. Probably get the soil first and then get the fertilizer by the end of this month. So I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe just 1 bag of this, because I don't need too much. A bag of Dolomite lime probably makes sense.
Organically done. I know. Is it done? Yeah. Oh, okay, pull it out. Two. 1 second. Let me go check on something. Buddy. Right, yeah, I know. It should be okay. But you don't touch that, it's hot. Alright, so we added so we got 4 bags of shrimp shell meal, that's 20 pounds for $26. 1 bag of flaxseed meal, 50 pounds, $39. 1 bag of acid mix, 5 pounds, that's $10. And a bag of Dolomite lime, that's $6.50. All in all, it's like 82 bucks. So let's go back to organically done. Probably get like 2 more bags of something. We could get a bag of oyster shells. That'll up our calcium. We don't really need to do that. We could get some soybean meal. I'm fine with that. We could get like 2 bags of that. It's like $13. I'd be cool with that. I don't think we would really need anything else after that. Let me check through everything and see. There's some fish meal, 9% nitrogen, 4% phosphorus. Probably has some calcium for the scales. I don't know. I don't know if I personally need that. Soft rock phosphate. That'll add trace minerals. That might be okay. Something I actually might need to do to this bed. Knock it off, fool. Is add some azomite to the pots. Though actually I don't need to do that because the soil that I have on hand that we will be mixing into it. Knock it off, fool. Has been amended with a ton of azomite, so it won't need it. So what we're going to probably get is, honestly, I might just chill, because I think that should be good. That $82 should be good. Honestly, I don't think I'll need anything else. So a bag of Dolomite lime, a bag of acid mix, 4 bags of shrimp shell meal, and 1 50-pound bag of flaxseed meal. We'll probably use half a bag, like 25 pounds of, or like we'll probably use like 20 pounds of the flaxseed meal. That'll be 5 pounds each per pot. I can't imagine 5 pounds of flaxseed meal not being enough for a 20-gallon pot. 20 gallons is pretty big. It's not huge, not like 100 or 60 or even a 30-gallon. Honestly, a 30-gallon would be starting to get pretty big. I've seen somebody actually do an indoor grow with a 30-gallon pot, and I think they got a couple pounds from an indoor. So an outdoor and a 20-gallon, I'm hoping it still gets pretty big, a little small, to be honest with you. 20 gallons, I definitely could have puffed it up. I feel like next year I'll probably just use 20 gallons for like clones and just let them kind of go along the fence or along the gate. And that'd be kind of cool. And then probably try to upgrade because I saw some pots that were pretty cheap. You could get like 3 composting. They're like composting bags, but it's like 65 gallons. So it's like, well, I could just put soil in that and grow weed, and those suckers will get huge in like a 65-gallon pot. And so I'm like, fuck, I might do that next year. Get 3 of those and have 3 65-gallon pots. Try to find 3 good phenos to throw in those, and then just focus on we'll probably do that at the end of the summer. Get those pots, get the soil in them, start composting early in the year throughout the winter, like how we kind of did this year with the trash cans. We were gonna grow in them, but then I honestly thought, we would actually be smarter is that if we just use these 20-gallon pots that I saw online, because actually one of the trash cans was only about a 20-gallon, the other one was 32 gallons. So it is 12 gallons bigger,
But if I use if I disperse that between 4 20-gallon pots, which that's about 52 gallons of soil, we should be able to get, more weed from 2 gallons or 2 pots than we will. We'll probably get more weed from 4 pots than we would from 2, if that makes sense. So yeah, because we were originally just going to do 2 plants in 2 trash cans, and then 2 plants in the raised bed, or 1 real big plant in the raised bed, and 2 plants in the trash cans, and then I was going to do a couple plants in some 20-gallon pots, or like 10-gallon pots, actually, I think was what I was originally going to do. Then I was like, thinking about it, and I was like, well, honestly, I think from what I understand is that 20 gallons or 10 gallons will get you about 1.5 pounds of weed outdoors. So like 1.5 pounds is not bad for like a little like recreational grower, somebody who's just growing, recreationally. But me, I'm trying to grow for some patience. I'm trying to have a lot of weed on hand in case somebody hits me up and they want a couple pounds or something like that. Yeah, so I just hit people up and like so I was like so I'm like make a little, so I got to make sure that I have a little more than 1.5 pounds. That'll kind of be a waste of the summer. I feel like in a 10-gallon, like I could have got a lot more out of that plant if I would have just put it in a bigger pot, and not wasted the entire summer of it just chilling in a 10-gallon, you know. So I was like, well, if I add another 10 gallons to it, in theory, that should give me about 3 pounds. So if I get 3 pounds, roughly, we're going to fertilize it a little bit, overshoot it for 20 gallons. So like I said, 5 pounds of flaxseed meal, it'll be 5 pounds of shrimp shell meal. Then we'll split up the 10 pounds of the PHer. And then, probably actually will add a little bit more to the mix. I don't know what though. Probably 2 bags of soybean meal would make the most sense. I can't imagine anything else. Nah. Doesn't taste too bad actually. Let's see what 2 bags of soybean meal will cost us. Like $95. That's not bad for all in all. I don't know. Should I get like I could. I don't know if I could technically cut and get rid of the PHers because the soil I'll be adding is already pH, so I won't need to do too much to it. I could honestly get rid of the soybean, get rid of the dolomite lime, get rid of the acid mix, and get an extra bag of flaxseed meal. Use all 50 pounds of that into the soil. We'll have 50 pounds left over for the rest of the garden for like the rest of the year, and also for the pots to top dress during veg, obviously. But we can give it the whole 50 pounds, which will be 4 pots. That'll be like 12.5 pounds, I think. Because that'll be because 12.5 plus 12.5 is 25, and the 25 plus 25 is 50. So we'll give them so we would do about that. So basically it'd be a quarter. You do like a quarter of each section into a pot, mix that in. I might do that. See how much that costs. So that'll be a little bit extra, but it should be still under $100. So right now, just that's $65, which isn't bad. Not bad at all. $104. Yeah, I'll probably do that. That makes a lot more sense. Because the flaxseed meal will give me my potassium. I don't really need too much potassium during veg. I will need some, but I won't need a ton. and that'll give me plenty. And so we can do that. Add the shrimp shell meal for the chitin, nitrogen, and phosphorus that'll give us. I'm not mad at it. I think those will be some productive ass plants in a 20-gallon pot, full all the way full, the full 20 gallons. Maybe just, or maybe like 19 gallons. Give it a little space, so that it has a little space to water with, so we're not like when we try to water, the water's just spilling over the sides because there's not enough space because of the soil. But yeah, I think that should be good. That's like $104. That's what, 120 pounds of fertilizer for $104. That's not bad. And that'll be fertilizer for the entire year. At that point, then I'm only going to need fertilizer for flour, which is probably just going to be 2 bags of bone meal and then 4 bags of acid mix for the pots, and that'll probably take them through the entire year. And then basically for the raised bed, that'll be like 6 bags of acid mix and 4 bags of bone meal in that. So what was like $60 or so? It's like 40. So it'll be like $100 for fertilizer and veg, which isn't bad. And then probably what? We can get like another 3rd bag of the bone meal for the pots to get it all the way to free shipping, and then add a bag of dried molasses. It'd be 3 bags or 4 bags of acid mix. That's $40. 3 bags of bone meal. That's $30. So that's $70. Then you add in the dried molasses. That's $5.46. Hence, that's $75. And you're getting like 39 pounds of fertilizer, and that'll go into your pots, and we'll drop all that into our pots, and that should be good. If we have any soil laying around, we could technically mix that in a little bit too, just to help get it to break down. And sucker, I'm gonna be pretty happy. I think we're gonna get some giant, great cannabis plants that can smell amazing. To be honest with you, man, I really do. I think we're gonna get some really good stuff this year, buddy. Yeah, I think that'll be about it. All in all, after that, yeah, after this, we're just gonna need about another, probably like $300, and we'll be done for the year. After $300 into the bed, and we'll be done. Hopefully, we make our money back. I mean, if we get enough weed, we will. Because we stayed under $1,000 for sure. Probably close to 600 at the end of it all. At the end of all of it, we're probably close to like 600, 570 something to $600 spent for the whole year on fertilizers and seeds and plants and all that type of stuff, soil and things like that. Yeah, probably around like 600. So that's like 3 ounces, like 3 ounces, 4 ounces. So that's like 6 ounces, something like that. Because it depends on some of the like mid shelf stuff, which would be, actually, I don't know. All my stuff's kind of top shelf this year, so I kind of had to. I don't know. I might add in the strawberry mango haze and Skittles and try to find another plant to veg like later on in the year. Just veg it for a little bit indoors and then throw it outdoors. In 10 or 20, and let that get to like give me a pound or 2 of fire stuff to smoke on, and then use the mango haze, the Skittles, the Tropicana cookies, the wedding cake, the Girl Scout cookie, and the What the Fuck, which are our 6 premier plants that we're going to be growing this year. Girl Scout cookie and a Tropicana cookie and wedding cake being the top shelf. I would say What the Fuck being the mid shelf. That's like $100 or yeah, probably like $100 an ounce for that, $150 an ounce for like the Girl Scout cookie and the wedding cake and Tropicana cookie. And then the Skittles, Mango Haze, What the Fuck can be the mid shelf. That can be like $100 an ounce. If I get 3 pounds from each plant, that's in a pot, that'll give me 12 pounds. That's a fucking ton of money. It's a ton of money. We're almost near the hour. So we'll go into the tent because it's 8 o'clock and I need to turn the lights back on. Turn the lights on, show off the seeds that are germinating, show off the plants. Like I said, I put the plants through a windstorm. I actually think I forgot to mention this, or I did mention it, but then I started talking about something else. I put the plants out in a windstorm. Every single one of them all took it pretty well, but the What the Fuck, which was good. It is regrowing, so it looks kind of shitty, but it is growing back after getting its ass kicked in that windstorm. I guess the pot might have been a little wet. It also just didn't really like that cold because it faded really quick. Some of the leaves turned yellow because of that sucker. So we can tell that that one does not have very much color in it, but it is big. So I'm expecting that one to be obviously bigger than the Girl Scout cookie, but probably turn mostly yellow when it fades, which I'm fine with, turning like a yellow and fading away at the end, because that'll be a good, flushing. That'll be a good harvest time, and not every plant can turn purple. The Girl Scout cookie will turn purple. In the last live stream, we were showing off the purple cannabis plant that I have outdoors, and I need to take a short of that, and put that on Instagram, put that on my story, and then put that on YouTube, so I can get some views. But yeah, I'm hoping for closer to 6 pounds, 10 pounds, 6 to 10 pounds from the raised bed, from each plant, like 6 pounds from the Girl Scout, like 5 to 6 pounds from Girl Scout cookies, and then I'm gonna try to get closer to 10 pounds from the What the Fuck. I think that one will get really big. So if I can get 10 pounds, and another 6 from Girl Scout cookie, that's like 16 pounds from the raised bed. That's a great year. That's a really productive year. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I would not be mad at that. And the more weed I get, technically the cheaper I can actually make it. So if I get like 16 pounds, I'm not like inclined to keep the Girl Scout cookie at $150 an ounce. I might make it $100 an ounce, so it sells faster, and people get a better taste of it sooner, so they're not like sitting on it. And that'll make my weed sell faster, and I'll still get basically the same profit, and I won't like lose money off of that. So, but we got to stay on top of our game. Like I said, it's probably about another $300, $100 soil, $100 of veg fertilizer. Oh man, wow, shit. Actually, probably about like another 400 because we need. Well, I'll have to see how much soil we'll take. I might go do that and then order this little veg mix because I don't really have anything else that's coming out, I don't think, this month. So I might go get some soil tomorrow and we'll make like a soil mix video. Probably will do that. That actually shouldn't cost me too much, I don't think. I'd have to see. 6 cubic feet of peat moss, because a 3 cubic feet bag is compressed to 6, or 6 cubic feet is compressed into a 3 cubic foot bag. So if I re-moisten that and then loosen it up, that should give me like 6 cubic feet. That should fill the bottom half of 4 20-gallon pots. That should give me at least, what would that be? That's like 40 gallons of soil. That should give me like 40 gallons of soil, I hope. Let's see. $44. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Alrighty, so 6 cubic feet will give me about 44 gallons of soil. So that's perfect. We'll have about 4 gallons left over. We can throw that into our raised bed. That'll give us a little bit of peat moss. That'll help with a little drainage. So I'm not bad at that. So that's like 1 bag of peat moss. And then we can try to go get some other stuff tomorrow too that we'll need for the year. So I might make a Home Depot video tomorrow if I can get to Home Depot, but I'll have to see. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the raised bed mixing, or the raised bed amending part 2, part 3, mixing a raised bed, and then be on the lookout for the Home Depot video because that'll be a good one as well too. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.